How does Screwtape know that the lion and the lamb are the same person? Well, welcome to Turn the Page, another powerful quote from the Screwtape Letters, C.S. Lewis's great work of fiction from 1942. Here's today's quote. Like most of the other things which humans are excited about, such as health and sickness, age and youth, or war and peace, it is, from the point of view of the spiritual life, mainly raw material. Okay, let's discuss. Now, every trillionth of a second, a trillion things happen on planet Earth. We divide those things into two categories. We think in terms of good and bad, or progressive or regressive, productive or destructive. We use terms like better or worse. We think of predators and prey, or life and death, and so on. Screwtape knows something that we keep forgetting. We're obsessed with the wrong categories. We spend our lives sorting, judging, cataloging, that this is good, this is bad, this is winning, this is losing. We're like children, arranging seashells by color and thinking we're discovering something profound about the ocean from whence they came. But from eternity's perspective, all of it, the triumphs, the tragedies, the victories and defeats, the thises and the that's, it's just raw material waiting to construct something else. What is that something else? The Christ of God is both the Lion of Judah and the Lamb who was slain. He is both the predator, the lion, and the prey, the lamb, because binary thinking breaks down completely inside of the crucified God. How can strength and weakness be the same thing? How can the hunter and the hunted occupy the same body? Yet this is the cross's declaration and blessed mystery. At the cross, Jesus is simultaneously the sacrifice and the priest offering that sacrifice. He's the victim and the survivor. He doesn't oscillate between these two identities. He is both fully at the same moment. He is heaven's raw material. Every single polar opposite or dichotomy that allows us to navigate our way through time does not work when we touch eternity, and the cross is eternity. This is what demons exploit and what saints discover. Our navigational tools, the opposites that help us make sense of our days, they are training wheels. They work beautifully for getting us through an ordinary Tuesday, but they collapse when confronted with ultimate reality. Eternity doesn't operate on the logic of either or. It operates on the blessing of both and, or even stranger still, the truth of all in one. That's the etymology of the word universe. Everything turned into one thing, like turning war into peace. The greatest war that ever has been fought took place on Good Friday. The peace which surpasses all comprehension was won on that same day in the same event. The ultimate battle and the final ceasefire are at the same moment. The cross is simultaneously history's bloodiest conflict and its final peace treaty. Every war that's ever been fought, or every peace that's ever been brokered, is just an echo of this singular event, where violence and reconciliation merge into one indivisible reality. The cruciform image of God, it's older than the universe, and yet it's new every morning. It's the same an ancient story retold in some novel way in your life today. Like baseball, it's the same old game that we've been playing for almost 200 years, and yet every time you go to the ballpark, you're going to see something new. This is the pattern that demons hate and humans stumble over. The cross is both utterly familiar and it is endlessly surprising. It's the game we've watched 1,000,000 times, and yet in the bottom of the ninth inning of your life, something happens that's never happened before. The story is ancient, it's older than stars, but it's also being written right now in your specific suffering or your particular joy, your unique moment of either grace or crisis. Well, now what about sickness and health? No human being has ever been sicker than when Christ carried all the disease and sin and perversion and injustice inside of himself to the cross. He becomes the universe's sick soul. And yet on the same day, at the same time, nobody was ever healthier or sounder or saner or productive or energetic or all of the other concepts that go with perfect health than our Savior Jesus Christ as he hung on that cross on Good Friday. The ultimate sickness and the ultimate health were occupying the same body at the same moment on that same cross. Now, this isn't paradox for paradox's sake. It's the revelation that our categories of sickness and health are temporary constructs. They're real enough for navigating time, but they're not ultimate. What's ultimate is the cruciform pattern that holds both of them, transforming how we experience them in time and eternity. From the point of view of the spiritual life, everything else that happens in the universe is simply raw material being used to demonstrate over and over God's eternal construction of the one structure that defines who he is and where he lives, namely his very own crucified life. So your cancer and your healing, your promotion and your bankruptcy, your wedding and your divorce, all of it is raw material for the construction of your crucified life. Not because God doesn't care about the distinction between joy and suffering, but because he's building something with both that's more real than either. Every moment of your life is another brushstroke in the same eternal portrait, the crucified God who is also the resurrected King, forever turning our either-ors into his both-ands. Thank you, C.S. Lewis. Thank you, Screwtape. We'll tackle another great quote next time on Turn the Page.